Hi, I'm Trish. Today I'm going to talk about something that strikes fear into the hearts of many, and that is Optifast. Opti-slop, Opti-shit, whatever you want to call it. I know it's a really hard time for most people, so today I'll tell you my experience with it. That might not be your experience, it might not be anyone else's experience, but I have seen enough conversations and been a part of enough Optifast conversations to know that mine was pretty par for the course. I apologise for my manky eye. I've got an eye infection and I've got a mouthful of cold sores, so I was actually waiting until all this cleared up to make this video because I thought, well, I'm not very pretty, no one really wants to see that, and if it is too much for you, just look away. And then I thought, well, no, wait a minute, Optifast isn't pretty. I'm not pretty at the moment. This is the perfect time to make the video. So, actually, I can make a little bit better look. There we go. Now I'm pretty. I'm a clip in my hair. Just concentrate on that. Don't look at all this that's going on. Should have seen this a couple of days ago. Anyway, I will start with... What will I start with? What do you want to know most? Will it ever be over? Yes, and it does get better. The video fell down. Yeah, I was saying, if I had the ability to lose 1 kilo for every time I've heard someone say when they are on day 3 of Optifast that they felt absolutely shit, that they were tired, they were shaky, they felt sick, I would probably be posting in groups asking for hints and tips on how to actually stop losing weight. I promise you, the first 3 or 4 days, they will be hell. You will be tired, you will feel sick, you will have no energy, you'll be very weak. My first 3 or 4 days of Optifast were awful. I didn't get grumpy. A lot of people get very, very grumpy. I didn't. Not that anyone told me, maybe they just weren't game enough to tell me. But I was going to the gym every day, and I was getting worried because I was getting really lightheaded at the gym. My fingers and toes were tingling. And I actually went to my GP and she said, no, everything's fine. And then after that initial 3 or 4 days of the nausea and just the tiredness, and after that, once I got past those 3 or 4 days, I was on fire. I was going to the gym every day. I had energy to burn, and I felt great. I wasn't hungry at all anymore. Yet your hunger goes. I now know that's because I was detoxing from all of the shit food that I'd been eating prior to that, and eating more fruit and veggies than I'd eaten in a very, very, very long time. But I'll talk more about that later. The guidelines that my dietitian gave me, and I only saw her once as part of the whole, public hospital system at the Alfred, she was actually really, really good. She told me that I could have 3 Optifast products per day, plus 1 serve of fruit, and I knew nothing about nutrition then. I had to look up what a serve of fruit was. Plus I was allowed 2 cups of the allowed veggies. So I went away and I asked her actually, and this is another common question that you see around the place. I asked her, can I swap out the Optifast shakes for Opti Slim or Tony Ferguson or Celebrity Slim or whatever? And she said no, because they had done all their research and found that Optifast was the best. It was the most nutritionally complete. I was just looking for a cheaper one because I don't have much money. But then I thought, it's about $50 or something for 2 boxes of Optifast. It's not like you're spending any more money for the Optifast than you would be on food, and it's only for a couple of weeks anyway. So anyway, I went out and got all my Optifast. I wasn't allowed any oil. A lot of people are allowed a teaspoon of oil per day, but then, on the other side, a lot of people aren't allowed any fruit. I think, and don't quote me on this because I haven't done my research, but I think the whole oil thing might be for people who still have their gallbladder, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I don't have a gallbladder, so I didn't get any oil, but I didn't need it. I learned that over those 2 weeks how to stir fry in water. Yep, so I went away and I did my research on all the Optifast products and asked a lot of questions in, you know, groups and stuff that I was in, that I still am in. And I decided to not even try the soups. There were a lot of mixed reviews on all the different shakes and the desserts and the bars. There were no mixed reviews on the soups. Everyone just said they were shit. So I thought, well, I'm not going to even waste my money on those. So I went out and I bought myself enough chocolate Optifast shakes and berry and chocolate bars, and I think I bought lemon and chocolate puddings, like the dessert puddings. So yeah, I set myself up. I had enough for the 2 weeks, and I planned it all out. So I had, and I was also, yeah, I was allowed fruit in mine. I was very lucky. And I'd read that the shakes were a lot more palatable if you made them up with ice and a bit of fruit. So I had a chocolate shake every morning with I think probably about 6 strawberries, and I made it up with ice and a bit of water. I reduced the amount of water for the ice, and then mid-morning I would have half of one of the berry chocolate bars. For lunch, I made up just a big, massive salad, because when they say 2 cups of veggies, they mean if you got all of your veggies, and not what you can fit in a cup, because if you're putting lettuce or whatever in a cup, then if you pack it in loosely, that's not going to be a cup. What they mean is if you took your veggies and put them into a blender and blended them up and then put them in the cup, it's compressed food. So I had salad every day, because I can do that. I can eat the same thing every day and be happy. And I used I think I was still eating lettuce then. I don't eat lettuce anymore. Just lettuce, tomato, red capsicum, red onion, mushrooms, beetroot. I'll tell you about the beetroot later. Probably put some alfalfa shoots through it as well. And I chopped them up really, really fine as well, because then to me it felt like I was eating more. And I got myself some fat-free salad dressing, because I was allowed that, and put a little bit of that on. And I really enjoyed those salads every day. Then in the afternoon, mid-afternoon, I had the other half of the Optifast bar. For dinner, I had my cup of allowed veggies, and I thought up all different things to do with them. I made soup, I made vegetarian sunchoy bao, I made vegetarian chow mein. One night I even had just a whole cup full of plain steamed Brussels sprouts with a little bit of oyster sauce, because I was allowed oyster sauce as well. And when I say a little bit, it was like half a teaspoon. I don't know why they allow that, because those sauces are all full of sugar, but I didn't know that then. I probably wouldn't have done that now. I probably would have put a bit of soy sauce, because sodium's so much better for you than sugar. But anyway, that's what I had. And then after dinner, I had like one of those dessert puddings, a lemon one or a chocolate one. So I was eating quite regularly throughout the day. I was other than the first couple of days, I was never really hungry, and I actually felt like I was eating like non-stop all day. Now I'll give you a little review on all those foods. The chocolate shakes, that first one I had, honestly, I don't know how I got it down. I don't know how I kept it down. But over the next few days, I got used to them, and I could sit here right now, if I had Optifast here, I could sit here and make up a chocolate Optifast shake with a few strawberries and some ice, and I could sit here and just sip at it and enjoy it. It would be like a special treat for me. So a lot of people do get used to the taste of them. And with all the other shakes, like you can get vanilla and you can get banana. I don't know. Some people put coffee in them. You're allowed to do that. I wasn't a coffee drinker, so I didn't have to give up coffee. I'm a coffee drinker now, but back then I wasn't. I used to drink chai lattes, the Lipton ones that are about 110% sugar, so I had to give those up. And I wasn't a diet cordial drinker back then. That's only something I've done since I got banded as well. But a lot of people also use, like the coffee essences, like mint and, I don't even know. But the ones that are like, I don't think they've got any calories in them. They're just like flavouring essences, like vanilla. A lot of people use those. Now, the bars, I was really excited when I went and bought them because I thought these are going to be just like muesli bars, and they're berry and they're chocolate, and you can get a few different kinds. I can't remember what the other ones were, but I love berries, and I thought berries and chocolate, that's a really nice combo. So I bought these bars, and the first time I tried one, I thought, this isn't even food. What is this? I could actually taste like chemicals in it. And I thought, oh my God. And it was all, like if I held it up, it was just all, because I did Optifast through the hot part of summer, it was just all melty and disgusting. So I read somewhere that they're much better in the fridge. So after that, I kept them in the fridge, and I kind of got used to the taste of them, realised that even though they didn't taste like food, they weren't going to kill me. If you offered me one now, I'd go, yeah, no, pass. No, thanks, no. The desserts, they're sort of just like, those instant puddings that you get, that you mix up with milk? They're like that, but you mix them up with water. They're okay. I was excited at first because I thought, oh, you can get to eat dessert every night. I've since had them because I had a few left over, and they're okay if you chop up some strawberries or something and mix those through. That makes them palatable. But getting towards the end, I think probably for the last 3 nights of my Optifast, my darling daughter, who has been really supportive of me all the way through this, she came and she sat in front of me like I was a toddler, and because I said, I can't eat this anymore. I cannot eat one more spoonful of this shit. I can't do it. And so she came and she sat in front of me with this tiny little bowl and a little teaspoon, and she did that. Come on, little mummy, you can do it. Here it comes, just one more little spoonful. And she got me through my last couple of days of that dessert pudding. And she was saying, Mum, you need it, and you need the calories, and it's all balanced, and this is what you've been told to do. And yeah, she was a treasure, still is. Now, this is where this is a bit that you might not like. A lot of people ask, or it's like they're seeking approval to cheat on Optifast. I didn't cheat on Optifast at all. Now, for the clever ones out there that are saying, but you had beetroot. When I went to my dietitian, she gave me a list of veggies that I wasn't allowed to have. So it had things on it like corn, peas, potato, sweet potato. It didn't have beetroot on that list, but I have since found out it should have. But because it wasn't on the list, and because I knew nothing about nutrition then, and I wasn't smart enough to, read on the back of the can of beetroot that it was full of sugar, I had beetroot every day. When I say I had beetroot every day, I had I think one slice, and I used to dice it up. So I didn't knowingly cheat on Optifast because I didn't know that I wasn't allowed to have beetroot. All the rest of it, I did not cheat, not even to the tune of licking a spoon of something else. I was really good, and I had my 2 litres of fluid every day, and I exercised every day. I was a really, really good girl. I didn't lose as much weight as I expected. You hear about people losing 8, 10, 12 kilos over 2 weeks on Optifast. I only lost about 4.4 kilos, and I was really disappointed, and then I was worried as well, thinking, oh my God, what if my liver hasn't shrunk enough? But I had lost, over the previous couple of months, about 10 or 15 kilos. So my body was probably just saying, enough, girl, enough. And then when I had the surgery, my liver was fine, apparently. My stomach had very little fat around it and everything, so, I obviously did a good job. Yeah, a lot of people ask, or, they say, oh, I'm so hungry, would it be okay if I just had, like a little piece of meat, or, a little piece of chicken, a little piece of fish or whatever with my dinner? The dietitian didn't tell me I could, but can I? No. Some dietitians, they do. They say you can have a portion of protein with your meal. If your dietitian has said you can do it, then do it. But, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going out to some celebration and we're all going out to dinner. Would it be all right if I just didn't do Optifast for that one meal? No. People look for it's like they're looking for permission. It's like they're looking for people to say, oh yeah, no, that's okay. I cheated on Optifast and I did all right. I still lost heaps of weight and blah, 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 blah. The whole point of Optifast isn't to lose weight. That's just a wonderful side effect of it. The whole point of doing the Optifast is to shrink your liver, because your stomach's like right in there with your liver, and if your liver is too big, it makes the surgery really, really dangerous. I've heard of people who have been opened up and the surgeon looks in there and they go, no, not doing the surgery, and they just close them up and send them home. That happens. Other times, the surgeon will get in there, the liver will be too large, and then rather than doing keyhole surgery, which in the whole grand scheme of things is quite pleasant, they switch to open surgery. I have had open abdominal surgery when I had my gallbladder taken out. As long as I live, I never, ever want to go through that again. That was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And I've had 2 caesareans. I would have a caesarean every day for the rest of my life rather than go through what I went through with my gallbladder. So yeah, and I really don't think it's a good idea to cheat on Optifast, because you're cheating yourself. And Optifast, even though I don't think I've seen this spoken about anywhere, doesn't mean it hasn't been. I'm not saying I invented this idea, but other than Optifast shrinking your liver, it puts you into ketosis. That's why you feel so shit for the first 3 or 4 days. You go into the keto flu, and it does feel like you're coming down with the flu. One of the greatest advantages, I think, of Optifast, as I said, other than shrinking your liver, making surgery safer, easier, blah, 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 it detoxes you from all the shit that you have been eating in your life. It detoxes you from sugar, it detoxes you from carbs. Now, there is sugar and carbs in Optifast. Your body does need some carbs and some sugars, but it's nutritionally perfect. You know, it's got all the protein and all the minerals and blah, blah, blah that your body needs. But you're going from a really shit diet, and you can't tell me that you don't have a shit diet. If you don't have a shit diet before you're going to get weight loss surgery, you don't need it, because you won't be fat. It's the shit diet that got you fat. It detoxes you from all of those bad habits and gives you like a clean slate to start from, because then after the surgery you're on fluids for 2 weeks, and then mushies for 2 weeks, and soft foods for 2 weeks, and then you can start reintroducing, you know, normal foods again. So, you know, once you get over those, 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks of altered eating, that is a really good opportunity to kick those bad habits and form new ones. So I think that's where Optifast is really good, and I think that also would be where Optifast would be really useful for resetting. If you go off track, and I haven't done this, I have thought about doing it, but I'm really just too lazy. It would be, I think, really good if you need to reset everything, just to do Optifast for a week or 2 weeks, detox, start over. I'm not saying to do Optifast as a means to losing weight, but as a means to just, you know, detoxing yourself from all that shit, just like a reset button. But I haven't done that. I've only thought about it. Yeah, so for all the people who say, is it okay if I cheat in the Optifast phase? I say no. And another thing to think about is, when you get a lap band or a sleeve or bypass or whatever you're having done, if it's not, you're not having a magic wand sewn into your body. You're having a tool put in your body to help you make the changes that you need to make to improve the rest of your life, to change the rest of your life. When you have weight loss surgery, you're not going on a diet. It's to stop diets. You are going to have to change your diet. And when I say diet, I don't mean going on a diet. I mean the diet, the regular food that you eat regularly every single day for the rest of your life. You need to commit to that, or it's not going to work. You can't go, I'll have this weight loss surgery, I'll do this diet until I lose all my weight, and then everything's going to be cool. I'll always go back to what I was doing. Go back to what you were doing, you'll get what you had. You need to make changes. So what I say is, and it is harsh, and I don't apologise for it, if you can't do Optifast for 2 weeks, how on earth are you going to do fluids for 2 weeks after that, mushies for another 2 weeks after that, soft foods for another 2 weeks after that? If you can't commit to these 2 weeks at a time, how are you going to commit to changing the rest of your life on a permanent basis? And you do need to be really, really strict. And I'm not saying that you're never going to be able to eat birthday cake again, or that you're never going to be able to put yourself into a food coma at Christmas, or that you're never going to be able to have, a handful of chips or lollies or whatever your shit food is that you like. But I really believe for at least the first 12 to 18 months, you need to be really, really, really strict. And then even when you get to maintenance, it's still hard. You've got to find a new balance, a new way to live with it and eat healthy, 95% of the time. Weight loss surgery isn't easy. It's really not easy. Now, as I said, I didn't cheat at all, other than the beetroot mishap. But it's still a veggie, for God's sake. And I still lost weight. I still did well. I still had no complications with my surgery. My main motivation, other than that, I just wanted it to work, was, as mentioned, I have had open abdominal surgery before, and one of my biggest fears was that, even bigger than the fear of them going in and opening me up and going, no, liver's too big, closing me up and sending me home, my biggest fear, and it almost stopped me from having the surgery, was that they'd get in there and go, no, she hasn't stuck to her Optifast, liver's too big, we need to switch to open surgery. That alone was enough to make me stick to the Optifast 100%. I've actually got photos of my cholecystectomy scar when it was quite fresh. It was only a couple of weeks old. So I got that photo printed off in big A4 size, and I stuck one on my fridge and I stuck one on my bathroom mirror. So I saw them every single day. They were a constant reminder to me of what would happen if I didn't stick to Optifast 100%. And honestly, it was everything I could do going into that surgery to not say to the surgeon, if you get in there and you can't do it keyhole, close me up, I don't want it. I didn't say that to him, but I wanted to. I was that terrified. I was so relieved when I woke up and just had like a normal level of pain. So relieved. So I don't know, maybe if you need some sort of motivation, find something that's going to motivate you. Stick it up on your fridge, stick it up on your bathroom mirror. I don't know. I can't say what will work for you. I can only say what worked for me. That's all I can think of. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. Main things, I think, is do what you've been told to do what your dietitian tells you to do. Don't cheat. You don't need to cheat. It's only 2 weeks. 2 weeks out of all the rest of your life. And most importantly, I can almost guarantee you that those first 3 or 4 days are going to be shit. They're going to be really hard. Really, really hard. You are going to be sick. You're going to be tired. You might be grumpy. You're probably going to be wishing for death. But it is only the first 3 or 4 days. You won't believe how good you feel once you get past those few days. I promise. I promise. It really will get better. You'll be so full of energy and you won't be hungry. The hungry goes. My hungry didn't come back till months after surgery. I was going back to the surgeon for checkups, and I just kept going in, and he's saying, what's your hunger like? And I was just going, my hungry is broken. I don't get hungry. I get hungry now, but so yeah, just stick with it. Stick with it. You can do it.